Right in time for Newsfeed. A very good afternoon. My name is Hemini Gilda Mugeni. Now, Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga has headed to the Directorate of Criminal Investigation headquarters and joined a host of leaders who are at the DCI headquarters in solidarity with former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i. Matiang'i presented himself before the DCI officers this morning after he received a summon.
They're just holding him there. We come because we want to see him. I'm here with lawyers, and they're refusing us access. This is the first time in the history of this country that when I'm being denied an access to a government, a public office. But these are public officers, and they must be able to see people and give reasons. All that I'm demanding are reasons why Matiang'i is being held here, senior officer inside here, and they refused access. At first, they told me to get out of my car, that I'm going to walk down to the offices. I've come out of my car, I've come to the gate here. It's now nearly 30 minutes. They still refused to open. Now somebody has come out to tell me that we are not going to be allowed to go inside. And I asked him why. They are unable to give me any reason why. These are terrible things. We thought we were already past these kind of things. These are the old methods that were used by the ancient regime, which we thought we had discarded. It means that Kenyans must be prepared for worse things to happen. But I just want to say, Kenyans will not accept this kind of rule. We will not allow this country to recede back to the past days. It will be resisted. It will not be accepted.
Now, reporter William Moege has been camping at the DCI headquarters from morning. Now joins us live. Moege, if you can hear me, good afternoon. What is the latest from the DCI headquarters?
Well, thank you, Gilda. We are coming to you live from the DCI headquarters along DCI headquarters here in Kiambu Road. Quite a lot of beehive of activities here at the DCI. Remember, Fred Matiang'i, who's the former Cabinet Secretary for Interior, has been, for the better part of the day, has been here, whereby he has been being interrogated about issues in concern to an alleged raid that happened between the 8th and 9th of February this year. And already quite a number, the latest information that we are getting is that there are two counts which have been placed against Fred Matiang'i, and the DCI is planning to present him in court, or rather they are planning to set charges against the former Interior of the former Cabinet Secretary for Interior. And earlier on, we had seen Raila Odinga, who's the Azimio leader, had come here at DCI headquarters, but did not manage or was not granted access to the DCI headquarters. And later, he moved from this place. And moments later, we were addressed by one of the councils who's representing Raila Odinga, that is Dunstan Omari, saying that for the better part of the day, they have spent minutes here. And the only moment they got to speak or Matiang'i being interrogated by DCI officers was at least for 10 minutes, and later on, no information was forthcoming from the team of the DCIs who have been investigating this particular incident, which, as you recall, had happened between the 8th and 9th of February this particular year. So the reason as to why Matiang'i was here, it is following a summon letter by the DCI wanting him to shed more light on what really transpired, alleging that he had some information that could aid the investigating officers in carrying out the investigations. We had a moment, or rather we did have an interview with Dunstan Omari earlier on, and this is what he had to share with the media in relation to what is really transpiring behind those particular closed gates of the DCI headquarters. Have a listen.
The questions they were asking were related to his properties, and we completely advised the CS not to respond to anything outside what the summons were. We advised the CS to invoke Article 49 to remain silent and not to answer anything. The CS complied with our directions. After that, the officers said then they will have to consult and make a decision. They have been consulting for the last 6 hours. We are in a boardroom. Myself, Senior Counsel Mugeni, Senator, Senior Counsel Otienda Moro, Honorable Stephen Mogaka for West Mugrango, Waziri, Wakili Chris Wamalwa, Eugene, Wakili Samson Nyaberi, with the CS alone. We have the other officers, the police officers are on the next boardroom alone. We have been there more than 30 times asking them.
Well, that is lawyer Danstan Omari among the counsels who are representing former Cabinet Minister for Interior Fred Matiang'i, who is still here at the DCI. One thing we are not for sure is either he's going to be taken to a police station nearby, or he's going to be released. But according to Danstan Omari, already there are 2 counts which have been placed against Fred Matiang'i. But we are going to set camp here and see what really transpires, and keep informing you in our sequence bulletin. Back to you in studio.
Thank you so much, William Oige, for the update. Our reporter, William Oige, they're reporting from the DCI headquarters on Kiambu Road. He says 2 charges have been preferred against the former Interior CS, Fred Matiang'i. Of course, this is a developing story. We shall keep you updated in our subsequent bulletin. Moving on, the High Court has upheld the election victory of Elda's MP Aidan Keenan, citing insufficient evidence. The poll outcome was disputed and petitioned at the High Court by Ahmed Bore Arale of ODM. While dispensing the verdict virtually, Justice Stephen Riechi said the election was substantially held in accordance with election laws. The judge added that the irregularities did not affect the outcome. Speaking to the press in Nairobi, Keenan asked all the people of Elda's constituency, including his competitor, to join hands and work for the residents.
You set? You set?
So Kenya and Japan have committed to strengthen the bilateral relations between the 2 countries as they continue working on ways to balance the trade between them. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on Tuesday hosted Japanese ambassador to Kenya, Okaniwa Ken, at Harambee House Annex, where they discussed various modalities to improve the ties between the 2 nations in the ravaging drought, which is expected to extend to the 5th consecutive year. The DP said they will appreciate more support from Japan, especially towards programs to mitigate its effects and combat climate change.
That you are here, I want to assure you of our government's commitment to strengthen our relations and between the 2 countries.
And I think the friendship between our 2 peoples remains very warm, and it's very dynamic. Kenya is the largest recipient of our bilateral assistance to the whole of Sub-Saharan Africa.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Now, petitioner has accused the County Assembly of Isiolo of derailing his attempts to provide the House with a petition that seeks to stop the vetting of 31 chief officers whose list has been forwarded to the Assembly for vetting. Mugambi seeks to stop both the vetting and the swearing into office of the 31 nominees on grounds that the list has not met the 2/3 gender rule. It is bloated and it has irregularities, with some names appearing despite not having been shortlisted or interviewed. Speaking to the media, Mugabe complained that efforts to reach the clerk of the assembly have been futile, with his aim being to present his petition.
All other counties in Kenya, despite Isiolo being a small county, ya pili ni ya kwamba hawaja observe gender rule. Wanawake pale ni wachache, pia minorities kama Nubians, Niloites, Indians hawaja kuwa considered kwa hiyo list, na pia kwa hiyo list wameweka watu ambao hawakuwa apply, hawakuenda interviews, na they have sneaked in and then adulterated the entire interview, the entire list. So nime request na plea yangu kwa County Assembly of Isiolo wawache kuwa conduits ya illegalities and hot air, kwa sababu they seem that the assembly is in bed and a slumber with the governor and the executive. That's why wana frustrate watu. Kama mimi leo wamenitoa na jamaa wa sergeant at arms, their security. List imekuwa adulterated all the time. Mumeona kwa social media kumekuwa na fake lists ambaye zimekuwa several. Kuna wale wamewekwa mara wanatolewa according to your relationship and relativity to the governor and the elected people of the day. So the list has been adulterated several times, even in the social media. But Isiolo people, the human rights, have just kept quiet and done nothing about it. So it's an impunity of the highest order that is ongoing. That has not been observed. The two gender rule has not been observed. You can only see 6 women in the 31 nominees.
Now, the society has been urged to embrace children with special needs and help nurture them into productive citizens. The president of the Rotary Club of Nakuru, Rani Ramchandani, said there was need for the Kenyan society to acknowledge that children with special needs have the potential just like any other children and needed to be empowered so that they could exploit their talents and capabilities. Chichi Josephine tells us more.
A beautiful princess there.
At a donation event in Nakuru, Ramchandani announced that over 20 children living with cerebral palsy were given wheelchairs, diapers and other essential items. This act aimed to celebrate and encourage the children. Additionally, she stated that the organization has plans to drill boreholes in various locations to alleviate the challenges faced by vulnerable locals.
We are doing donations today, more than 6,000 diapers, wheelchairs, some cash and blenders, because these are the kids, they can't eat a normal food like us. So we are gifting them with blenders. And so far we have donated 5,000 mobility devices throughout the country.
Together with a non-governmental charitable organization, Peter James, they expressed regret for the challenges faced by the children, including being locked in their homes due to the fear of stigmatization.
I would like to tell them, I know it's not easy. I'm a parent and I know it's not easy, but take a day at a time. Look for groups, support groups that you can belong to, and then it makes the journey easier. It will not be a one day that today and then tomorrow you'll bring your child out, but the moment you're working with a group, it makes the journey easier. You feel embraced.
And this is also part of the advocacy in creating awareness for persons with disability, children, so that they can be able to be assisted and then they can be able to attain their livelihoods.
The parents of differently able children shared their challenges with the cost of providing care for their children, which has resulted in some family members abandoning them.
Ukikuwa na mtoto ni mwenye ako na special needs is not easy, especially kama wewe ni first time mom, because you are new in that journey, so uelewi what to do, what not to do. Juu wakati nilipata Shujaa nilikuwa na the dad, but the dad immediately left, so we parted ways. So I started raising Shujaa alone. na vile nilikuwa a new mom, kuna vile ukisha kuwa discharged ni kutoka hospitali, the docs hawakuambi what next to do.
I personally have experienced challenges in maybe accessing service because of my daughter who has hearing impairment. So when you go with your daughter and then there is an issue of where they don't have sign language interpreter, so it becomes a problem. So you see, if there is no sign language interpreter, that confidentiality of a patient will be breached.
Chichi Josephine, TV47.
Now we head over to the DCI headquarters in Kiambu County, where Senator Okongo Mogeni is addressing the press regarding the summons by the DCI to the former Interior CS.
That they wanted us to respond to. And from around 10 o'clock up to now, we have just been locked in the boardroom of the DCI offices. So at around 2:30 in the afternoon, they came and they read a cautionary statement against Waziri on the two offenses, one under Section 317 of the Penal Code and another one under Section 23 of the Cyber Crimes Act. And then they told us they have not made up their mind whether there is any offenses disclosed. So we have had the CS released, and they have said if at all they will require him, they will let us know. I want to state as a senior counsel and as somebody who has lived in this country for many years, that since the times of James Gishuru, the first Interior CS, I've never seen a CS who leaves office and then is summoned by junior officers 4 months after a transition. I've never seen a CS, other than this one, the son of Omogusi, having police officers sent to his home and having his home broken into by the police. This is the first one since independence. I've also lived in this country and seen many transitions of government. I was here when Moi left office. I was in this country when Kibaki left office. And now I've seen what has happened after Uhuru Kenyatta has left office. We had many people when Kibaki took office who are alleged to be serious criminal suspects, like the late Biwott. But we never saw President Kibaki becoming vindictive and going after people like Biwott. The CS who was in office, then Minister, Sunkuli, he left office in 2002 and he has spent 22 years peacefully in Masai land. Nobody has ever touched Sunkuli. Now he's an MP in parliament. But because some people think Omogusi, we are so useless, they have come after our Dr. Matiang'i. We will not take this kindly as the Omogusi nation. President William Ruto campaigned on the platform that once he takes power, he will unite the country, he will not be vindictive, he will not go after people to harass them, but what we are seeing is different. And we have to state things as they are. We perceive this to be political persecution and harassment of the Omogusi nation. That's what is happening here. Because how come we have never seen the people who served under Uhuru Kenyatta? CS was not the only minister. If you are talking about the Interior Ministry, we had Honorable Kibisho, who was the PS. Nobody has gone after him. We had DCI Kinoti. We have not seen him being dragged to DCI. We have seen Mutembe. He has not been dragged to DCI. But the son of Omogusi is the one that they are seeking to humiliate. We are telling the president that that's bad politics, and that's not the way you run a country. So as the people from the Omogusi nation, as a lawyer, I want to urge the Director of Public Prosecution to remain professional
not to be intimidated by any political forces, and to be true to the oath of office that he took, to ensure that it's not used by anybody to start political persecution of certain individuals in this country. We want the law to be applied fairly to everybody. That's the point we want to emphasize this afternoon.
Senator,
so
now with the two.
Hold on. Yes, with?
Yeah.
So I think that's all I want to state for now. We are ready. We are ready and willing to comply with any orders, if at all. Anytime the DCI wants the CS to appear here, we will be ready and willing to appear before the DCI if there are any issues that they need us to clarify. So we re-emphasize that Kenyans know that CS Matiang'i was the most hard-working CS. We know what he did in the education sector.
Senator Okongo Omogeni there addressing the press regarding the summons issued to former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i. He says they are vindictive and politically instigated. Now, Lari residents in Kiambu County have expressed their happiness for the new Lari municipality that will see the area receive developmental funds from World Bank, something they have missed for a long period of time. Residents from the area expressed their joy during a public opinion meeting at the Kimende Hall. Leaders from the area, including Lari Member of Parliament and members of the County Assembly, joined the residents in welcoming the move of having the Lari municipality as they wait upon the County Assembly of Kiambu to approve the opinion.
Ndio tunachangia iwe municipality, ndio ile misaada inatokanga kwenye inapewanwa kwa municipality. Ikipewanwa Lari tutakuwa mbele. Kuanzia Kamburu, Kilnali, Kijabi, Lari Kilenga tutakuwa mbele. Infrastructure hizo zote za barabara, za kujengewa mashule na za kuwa na maji katika municipality mzima.
National government itatufund ili itusupport ikuwe municipality, na kama ni hivyo mikakati yenye inafuatiliwa ili area ikuwe municipality, we will be included.
Sasa wakati huu umefika tuwe tumejisimamia sisi kama municipality. Samani tulikuwa kule Rumuru na ni hasa hatukuwa tunafaidika hata kidogo.
When a town like now Lari becomes a municipal, it means that this town, this municipal now will start benefiting in terms of infrastructure development. When you're a municipal, you receive funding and grants. Donors come in and support the activities of a municipal.
Bunge la Kitaifa tukabadilisha sheria mwaka wa 2014 na ikafanyiwa amendment pia 2019 ambapo iliweza kupunguza, ikasema kwamba municipal ndio iweze kupata municipal you only need 50,000 people. Kwa hivyo kutoka kwa bunge la kitaifa tumeweza kufanya hiyo kazi.
Now to some sporting action, and Senegal qualified into the finals of the 2023 African Cup of Nations under 20.